Congressman, you recently sent out a mailer to folks in the ninth asking for some specific opinions on very important issues. What's the feedback been like so far on that?
Well, it's been very interesting. We've gotten about 7,000 return responses. We're getting more in every day. I'm taking a look at the overall numbers. I'm also reading the comments as they come in. I've got two big boxes waiting for me when I get back to Washington to read through. But it is very interesting. Of course, you get some folks who just say, you're terrible, and some folks who say you're great. But there are a lot of people who are trying to, give comments that uh, will help as we move forward with legislation. And the answers to the questions have been interesting so far. Like I say, we're waiting until we get the final numbers in, and then we'll put the percentages out for everybody to see.
The Dow's flying high. We have announcements of around 177,000 new jobs added to the workforce. What do you attribute this sort of micro bubble of economic growth that's going on right now?
Well, it's really interesting, and it's really more of the same. We hear all this good stuff, and then when the unemployment numbers come out, well, yes, we did increase jobs, but unemployment has ticked back up nationally to 7.9%. So you hear the good and the bad. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly what's going on. I hope that there's going to be more good than there is bad, but we'll just have to see. A lot of the policies, as you know, I feel hurt that are coming out of the current administration, hurt people who are trying to create jobs and bring jobs back to the United States. Um, we'll have to see how that plays off against the fact that the United States can't continue to spend money it doesn't have. And so part of what you saw in the job numbers were a lot of governments are laying off people. But when you're spending $1 trillion a year you don't have, you've got to do something to slow down that spending. It's kind of like operating off a credit card. We can't continue to use the credit card, and we can't pick up the phone all the time and call the credit card company up and say, "Oh, by the way, can you raise my debt limit so that I can pay you the bill that I already owe you?" Credit card company would laugh at you. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where the rest of the world is going to look at the United States and say, "No, we're not doing that anymore. We're a strong country. We're a great country. We have great workers. We have great assets. We ought to use them instead of handicapping ourselves with regulations that don't make sense."